This conference will now be recorded.
Anyone has any questions on yesterday's class? Today I'll create it. Today I'll go and create it and I'll show you what is that we can do it. So let's log in. Online people, if you have any questions, if you are a developer, please ask multiple questions. Please ask many questions. It is very important. Uh, okay. Anyone has any questions? Today I may go and create one lambda function and I'll show you how you can write it down. It's a pretty simple lambda function. Anyone has any questions? I would like to create a lambda function. Yesterday I showed you how lambda function works. I will create right now and tell you the beauty of lambda function. Once again, I'm explaining you no server. If I am asking you, hey Dikshit, can you please do it? I want to do something. What is that one? I'll take a very simple example. I'll simple ask Dikshit. AWS S3 is there. S3 he is having. Whoever is adding any file with ends with Dikshit or Kumar or any file starts with Kumar, we don't want that file. You need to delete it. So there are hundreds of people who are adding the files into S3. How do you delete it? So generally what people will do, I will write a Python program. I will connect that. I will write a Python program in such a way that it will connect to that S3 bucket, check for any file which is starting with Kumar. If it finds, it will delete that file. And this one, I have to run it every half an hour basis. You will create one EC2 instance. In that EC2 instance, you will take one OS. In that OS, you are going to install Python or any language you are going for it. Write, install AWS SDK of Python, then write your program, then schedule that program, and that server should be running 24/7. I don't want all those kind of nonsense. I will just go and create a function. I'll go and create a function. I'll simply write the total prog in this function and I'll say I want to execute this one every 20 minutes. It will execute. Where is the server? No server. No license cost. See, think about it. If there is no server, I don't require any maintenance activity. If there is no maintenance activity, like you have 100 servers, 100 CC2 instance, one server is not working. Why it is not working? You need to log in and check it out. So that is what you need admins. If you go for serverless, that is lambda function, no server. No server means no maintenance. No maintenance means no admins. No admins means very less people in your office. Is it clear, right? All day by day, why people are getting fired? Why? If you go back and see 1960s, one computer, how many people used to work? 17 to 18 people used to work on one computer. Today, you can run 1 million servers with 17 to 18 people. Why? Technology. Is it clear, right? That is what we go for it. And very keep it in your mind. So let me go and create a function. So you can go and create a lambda function. It is asking, do you want to create a lambda function from the scratch or you have a used blueprint? Blueprint means existing function AWS has giving. You can take it and use it. Or again, I'm telling you, sir, so actually I have not yet started containers, right? But I'll go from it is a container images only. Actually, we'll talk about it. What is a lambda function name? This is nothing but okay. And I am writing in which language? Lambda function. All the top 7 language in the entire world it is supporting. You can write it in C#, PowerShell. You can write it in okay core.net. You can write it in Go. You can write it in Java. You can write it in Node.js. You can write it in Python. You can write it in Ruby. So all the top 10 languages in the world it is supporting. Like for your example, can anyone tell me in this one which is the topmost language in the world? Python is number one. Python is number one. Number two, I would come up and specify which is not there, JavaScript. JavaScript is client side. You don't require. But number one is this one. Very aggressively, two languages are defeating .NET and Java. That is Go and Node.js. Very aggressively, not normally. On a daily basis, I would come up and say 5 to 10 customers are moving away from Java to Go. When I went to interview for Oracle company ICO, fifth round, they asked me Go questions. I said, like, I am not a great guy in Go. I can write it down. If you ask me, I can write it in any language, but they said, like, no, we need exclusively Go. I conveyed that guy. That guy looks to be idiot. I said, like, sir, I have 7 languages knowledge. That means I have 100 languages knowledge. Syntax are slightly different, but the concept is same. I said him, that guy looks to be a little cracky guy. He said, like, no, you write a Go program. Then I said, like, I can't write right now. I don't know Go. But as an example, I very aggressively, whichever language you want to choose, you can choose it. I'm checking Python 3.9. And what is the addition? 64-bit ARM addition, which is that it is asking you. Now, what is the program here we are going to write? Actually, in this, yesterday, what is the example I told you? Yesterday. To stop the EC2 instance. So, lambda function should connect to EC2 instance, and then it has to do what? It has to do what? See, lambda function has to connect to EC2 instance, get the list of all EC2 instance, and stop one by one by one. So, what should you require? What? Very good. IAM role. Lambda function has to talk to EC2 instance. One AWS service has to talk to another AWS service. You need an IAM role. It will ask for, can you please provide an IAM role? Tomorrow, there is one task. What is that task? Lambda function has to go and stop all the EC2 instance, and secondly, delete any files which are starting with Kumar. So what do you require? In IAM role, you will provide a permissions for EC2 instance and S3. Keep it in your mind. So you need an IAM role. Use an existing IAM role. You want to create a new IAM role. It is all up to you. You will be selecting this IAM role. Now advanced settings, which is little important. Not important. I would come up and say, do you want to run lambda function inside any VPC? Only inside any VPC. Why? What is the reason of this one? Private. Like for your example, inside your VPC, there is a database. My lambda function should go and delete all the tables which are temp tables on a periodical basis. How it connects to private? Because your database is present inside your VPC. How do you connect inside? Because when the lambda function runs inside, then you can specify this one. Is it clear, right? Enable tags, enable function URL. Okay, you can basically you can use it. We'll talk about this one later point of time. But as an example, are you able to understand, right? You go and provide, and then what do you do here? Create a function. So let me write it down. I'll uncheck this one. I'll uncheck this one. So I'll create a Dikshit function. Wow, Dikshit function got created, Python language. Did I pasted any code? What is this one, sir? You have not pasted any code. First, you'll create a function, then you'll paste the code. So let us go and click on it. Online people, anyone has any questions? Dikshit lambda functions has been created. I just created LB function has created. Sir, where is the code you are going to do? You are going to go below and then paste the code here. Your code. Is it clear, right? You can write a code for your example. And can you tell me HTTP status code 200 means what? Success. When anyone in the world is calling this lambda function has to execute and everything is working fine. It has to respond. What is that? HTTP, what is that status code? What is HTTP status code? 400 to 499? What is that? Good. Client side. What is 500 to 599? Server side. Is it clear, right? So that is very, very important. If you ask me, he is asking writing a code. Maybe if you call this lambda function, I would come up and say, welcome to lambda function. This is Dikshit for demo. Fine. So what it will return? It will return HTTP 200 and it will also provide me one JSON body. What is that? Hello from lambda function. This is Dixit. Just then you can write a logic here. Actually, you can write your logic, Java programming or sorry, Python programming. You can write it. Let me write it down. Let's see. Clear? So just I can write it down here. Anything I'm writing here, you can write a program. I have written a program to stop all the EC2 instance. No, that is fine. Now tell me. I don't know how many people knows about this one. Use your mind. These are all basics. My laptop is there. I have written a code in my laptop. I am executing my code. My code will run, right? Where it will run, my code. You have written this program in my laptop and I run that program. It will run. Where it will run, the code where it will run. Online people, seniors. Where it will run. Tell me. Okay, I'm telling run one. So if you what is that? Backend sir. This is laptop and server sir. I'm telling. Okay, I'll tell you one thing. If I'm confusing you. What I said, I've written a code. When I execute it, where it is running. Now tell me. You have open a Chrome. You are using. That is Chrome is also an application, sir. Chrome is also coding. Where it is running? RAM. Your programs are all running in RAM. You are writing a program. Where is RAM? At any cost, you need a RAM. Any compute system which has program running, it runs in RAM. Where is RAM? What is that? You have an option. What is this? Configuration. You write a program. Configuration. Sir, actually, I'm estimating I've written a good program. I think this program requires RAM of 200 MB. Now, 200 MB is a small RAM or a big RAM? No. That is what I said you. 200 in generally, how much laptop you have seen your RAM? 2 GB, 8 GB. Array, you are providing 200. Array, 8 GB for your total operating system. Here, lambda function, do you have any operating system? No operating system. So how much RAM you require? So based on the program. So now you can come up and specify, I need general configuration, and what is the RAM they are providing? 128. Sir, 128 RAM is not sufficient. You can go for and 128, and you require some ephemeral storage, temporary storage. With lambda function, something happened and lambda function is completed, everything is deleted. They are providing 512 of ephemeral storage. You click on edit. No, sir, I don't require 128, sir. I need more. You can go up to 10 GB of RAM. Don't underestimate 10 GB. This is 10 GB without any OS. This is only for your program. If you have written your program so big, 10 GB you require. I am not going for 2 GB, 128. Now I'll also tell you, how do you know, sir, my program is requires 100 MB, 128 MB, 140 MB. How do I know? I'll tell you. Just go and provide it. It is automatically taking. Timeout is basically 3 seconds. No, timeout seems to be very less, sir. I'll go for 1 minute. Okay, just go IAM role. You can assign it. I go and click on save. So that is there. Now I want to go and run, what is this? Lambda function. Okay, that lambda function, I've written this code. Now I want to do, what is that? Test. When you click on test, you have an option called as test. Okay. Okay, if you open this one, what is that? Body says it has executed. Okay, and it has written, what is that? 200. Okay, HTTP body status. You see here, it will clearly come up and say initiate. So when you go and create a run lambda function, lambda function has to create first. To create, it took 100 milliseconds. That is 0.1 second to create. And To execute this lambda function, it took 1.2 millisecond, right? So how much time it has executed? 1.2. You got a bill of how much now? Bill of what is that? 2 millisecond bill you got it. Fine. And now, how much resource you provided? 128. This program took how much? 36. So is it sufficient 128? It's all up to you. Now let us take an example. Let us just take an example. I would like to go, just take an example. Now you are increasing the code, right? Where is that man code? Where is the code? Lambda function. Copy it. Just take an example. I would like to paste it. And I'm just taking an example. Just take an example. Am I increasing number of lines? Yes or no? Okay. I click on deploy. I have a capability. So deploy means save it. That is fine. And then what I can do? Test. You just go and click on test. Okay. Test it. Now you go and click on it. Print statement happened. But if you see, what is the output? Is it clear, right? And it will clearly may specify how much basically time it has taken, resources. Based on this one, you can change your lambda function. What is the memory you need, what, where, and everything. And you don't, it has executed, and or you don't require any server. Understood, right? You don't have anything called a server. At the end of the day, someone come up and say, which server this one executed? There is no server. Got it? Anyone has any questions? How did I created a lambda function? How did I written a code? How did I, okay, change this one? Anyone has any questions? Yes, no, any questions? Please, 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 please let me know.
How,
Yes, sir.
how many programs we can code using lambda function?
What kind of program means what? How many program means what is that? Go and write it down each and everything in one function. One function, one activity, second one, second activity, three, go 100,000, 10,000, 20,000, go for it.
Okay, now we created one program. I wanted to create another program and put dependency one after another.
Yes,
Can we
you
do
can
that?
convert one lambda function as APIs and call the APIs, which is the third one, last lambda function. I'll tell you. You can call one lambda function into another lambda function using APIs.
So each program like one lambda function.
Yes, one program will run. It will provide the outputs and it will pass the inputs to another lambda function. Another lambda function will run. Another lambda function will go and connect to the database. Database, you have created another lambda function, so it can run like that.
So whatever the output is generated, we can store that.
You can take that output which you are already written like this one body, you can pass it, right? If you are a developer, you will understand status code is 200, body is equal to this one. This can be a string, this can be an integer, this can be a JSON file, anything it can be.
Where it is going to store that outputs and all.
Where are you calling the lambda function? How are you calling the lambda function? When you call the lambda function, how are you calling? When you convert a lambda function into API, that is what I said you, I'll go for today or tomorrow, somewhere it will come. Once you call the API, it will respond an output in JSON format. That can be an input for another or for your application. Now let me explain you what is an API, then you will get an idea, sir.
Okay.
Okay, I will go for a very, very super example today. Okay, super example. You can take a photo now. You have a mobile, right? Take a photo of your face and send it to kumar@awsbit@gmail.com. I'll tell you how amazon.com works with my example. I've written a very powerful example, sir, here. Let me go through. I'll take an example. Just take a simple photo like this one with the only face here and send it to me. And it has to be good resolution. 4 MB, 5 MB file, it should be there. So I'll tell you the real time of amazon.com in front of you. Okay. So anyone has any questions how the lambda function is writing? So how do you schedule and how did we schedule this one? You write a program here, you write a function. Okay, you write a function and then you have a option of monitoring. CloudWatch monitors how many times it is executing, what it is, how much time it is taking, logs, trace log. Okay, versioning, if you're changing too frequently your AWS cloud formation, this one you can add versioning. Code is automatically there, testing is there, configuration in terms of configuration, all those kind of things like environment variable, VPC, monitoring, concurrency. I want to run this lambda function concurrently every and basically 1,000 times. Kumar, awsbit@gmail.com. Fine. Are you able to understand, right? This is the way you can go for it. Lambda function, create it and you can use it. If you see here, I have written one lambda function. I don't know. And there is also one thing. I don't know how many people. Sir, anyone is developer here? Anyone is a developer here? I have a very, very important thing for you if you are a developer. Okay. Now, see, can I write a program here? So can I write a program here like lambda function? I've written a Python program here. If you see, I've written a lambda function Python program here. Yes or no? Here, I've written. Now let us take an example. Someone will come up and say, sir, let us take an example. The next example which I'm going to go, you will get a better idea. You can write a program or what you can do. What is this? What is that? What is this? You can write a program in your laptop, zip it and also paste it. Now what is this? Here directly write a program. Instead of that one, what are you doing? You can zip it and upload it. Now, how do you upload it? What do you upload it? Why do you require upload? I'll talk about it. Anyone has any question? Simple lambda function, writing a lambda function and calling that lambda function. You can go into how do you call this one every 5 minutes, every 1 minute. You will go to what is that? CloudWatch. You can go back here and there is something called as rules. Go and click on, it's redirecting. I don't know why. You can go and click on back to CloudWatch. Create a rule. Then I want to run every 5 minutes. What is that you want to run? I want to run lambda function every 5 minutes. Okay. What is the function name? Dikshit function name. You go and click on it. You can see what is that. Got it? Now, there is one more thing which I'll tell you, which is very important. Dikshit as a business requirement. I want to take a snapshot every 5 minutes. So there is no need to write lambda function. This can help you out. You can come up and say, you selected what is that? Don't select lambda function. It is supporting so many things. See here. What do you want to do every 5 minutes? Every 5 minutes, I want to, what is this? Are you able to understood? Create a snapshot of what volume ID? You can mention a volume ID. So snapshot is a backup of a volume, right? You just mention the volume ID. Okay, just click on this one and configure it. Every 5 minutes, it will take a backup of the volume. You don't require any lambda function. AWS is providing. Explore this one, which is very, very important. Explore this one. You want to have, what is that? Every, see, what is this one? What is this one? I want to stop at 7:30. I can just mention 7:30, 7:30 here, and just go and specify EC2 instance or what you can specify star. It will stop at certain time. This is very goodly they have provided. Take advantage of that one. Clear? Are you able to understand? Now let us take an example. Lambda function, what is that? Lambda function, writing it every 5 minutes. I don't want lambda function to run every 5 minutes. Please write it down. The second type of lambda function, which is very important. Developers, this is the where you can go and get a job. You can change your thought process explaining properly. So there is a lambda function, event based. Event. Can you tell me what is the meaning of an event in AWS? Example. Example of an event. Example of an event. I told you 100 times. What is an example of an event? Online people. Event is nothing but S3 dot get object, S3 dot put object, EC2 dot stop, EC2 dot start, EC2 dot delete. All these things are events, AWS events. I don't want lambda function to execute every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes means what? Blindly it is executing. For your example, based on yesterday's example, for your example, yesterday I told you my company cost is increasing. My company cost is increasing. Yes or no? So for that increase, what I am doing, I am stopping my server at 8 o'clock. All the servers are shut. She will come, she will join basically 8:30 and she will start the server. Now, and she forgot. Now again the server is running. So what do you do right now? 8 o'clock you stop it, 9 o'clock you stop it, 10 o'clock you stop it, 11 o'clock you stop it, 12 o'clock you stop it, you write it down. Now in my company, everyone understood, or she also understood, like if I go and start at 9 o'clock, server will stop at 10 o'clock. So company is very strict, man, they are not allowing. Everyone knows, and none of the people are starting the server after 8 o'clock. No one is starting. Everyone knows it will stop. Can you tell me, but what is happening in the background? Lambda function is running at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. It is running. No servers are started, but it will run and it will generate slight bill, right? It is running. That is the reason you can change it with event based. What is event based? When the server should stop? When the server should, why are you stopping the server? Because it is turned on. When? 7:30 in the evening. Now what I can do, the same lambda function, I can add it in event based. What is the event based? Whenever in my company one event happen, what is that? EC2 dot start. Whenever she starts the server or anyone starts, what is the event happen? EC2 dot start instance event happen. Whenever after 7:30, anywhere you have an event EC2 dot start, trigger the lambda function. So what happens right now? She start the server, lambda function will execute and it will stop the server. Yes or no? Now for the next 6 months, she understood, or everyone understood, array man, we cannot start, man. If you start, they are stopping. 6 months no one has started. What happened? No bill. Lambda function has not executed one time also. Why? It was looking for an event. That event did not happen. Lambda function will not work. Event based, a game changer. I've taken a photo of him, a game changer. What is that event based and what is happening? Let us take an example. I am going through one example, a real-time example. I provided this one for IIT Chennai. Myself, Hina, went and explained this scenario in IIT in 2014. Very, very important. Let me go and explain you that one. What is happening? You understood CDN, right? CDN means what? Access the files very faster, right? How the world will change right now. I'm telling a very simple example. What happens now? Tell me. Very, very, very important. I will have a page that is called as, I'm taking an example of, what is that? Amazon.in. Everyone are logging to Amazon.in. You people are, who are you in Amazon.com? You people are buyers. You buy the product. But there is another page for sellers. People can sell, right? So there is a seller page. Seller will ask you certain question. I want to sell one product. I want to sell this one. So product. What is the product name? What is the cost? Provide the description about the product. This product is available in which places in India, and which places all over India, or only specific places. Okay, product, cost, description. What is that? Place. Very keep it in your mind. Place. And now it will ask you, what is that? Keep it in your mind. Very important. What is that? Images. And it will ask you, and you have a concept called as, what is that? Where is your images? Browse it. And then you have a concept called as, what is that? Save button. A page is like this one. Use your mind and tell me. Very important. Customer as a seller, I will enter a product name, cost, description. I will click on browse button. It will ask you, where are your images? I am going to give how many images here? 5 images. Each image is 6000 into 6000 pixel. What is the meaning of 6000 into 6000 pixel? High clarity. My image should be attractive so that people can buy it, right? My product 6000 into 6000 size image. Each image is, what is the size, sir? How much? 10 MB. I select 5 images and I click on save button. Use your brain. We are end of AWS. What should happen in this save button? What is the program I have to write? Tell me, sir. Click on save button. What should happen? Use your mind. Very important. And I'm going to show you this one practically now. Where? Can images can be stored in a database? Which server? You are a developer. Now I am asking in the save button, what should I do? Tell me. Simple, sir. Use your mind and tell me. It's a web-based application. In the save button, what is the logic I'm going to write? In the save button, the logic is pretty simple. Let's take an example. I am telling older logic, then I'll go for the new logic. I click on save. It will go and store it in storage sandbox. Storage, that is, what is that? Sandbox. What is the size? This is the box, and image number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are stored here. Okay, what is the size of each image? 10 MB. Is a small image or a big image? Big image. Now what will happen? There will be a background server. What it will do? Background server. It will run every, what is that? Automatically every 5 minutes. A big server. This server would be, I would come up and say 128 GB of RAM. It will go and connect to, what is that? These files. It will take this file. You are going to write here, what is that? Code, image processing code. This will convert this 10 MB images, which is how much size? 6000 into 6000. It will convert into 6 into 6 pixel, 20 into 20 pixel, 100 into 100 pixel, 400 into 400 pixel. How many files it will convert? And again it will store it in another, what is that? Sandbox. Now why, sir, why are you doing like this one? Let me tell you. So let me explain you. What is this content? What is this one? Product details. Product details are directly storing in, what is that? Database table. But what is this one? Images are storing in, what is that? Sandbox. They store it in sandbox. And okay, this sandbox, they will store it. They will have a URL of that files, right? That URL files, they'll move it into database. You want to do these activities. People used to do lot of servers, money and everything. Welcome to the lambda function. Zero server, zero people. Okay, older technology, newer technology. Where is that eraser, sir? Any eraser here? Or else wait. Fine. Now AWS. Okay. See, sir, AWS capabilities. Let me know if you have any questions. You click on save button. First of all, what is this data? I will move this one to one database. I'll click on save. What is these things? I will move it into 10 MB files. Yes or no? What is the pixel? What is the size? Now tell me, whenever you added into AWS S3, what happened? What happened? Whenever a file is added into AWS S3, what happened? What is the event happened? Yes or no? When you add a file, that is called as a put object. Yes or no? Whenever you added a file in AWS S3, S3 put object happened. Is this an event? Yes or no? S3 put object an event, right? You can say whenever an S3 put object happen, trigger a, what is that? Event based lambda function. What do you write in this lambda function? You write, what is the code I am going to write? Image processing. Sir, what is this image processing? This lambda function will connect to these files, convert these files into 6 into 6, 20 into 20, 200 into 200. Why? I'll tell you, sir. This is real. This is an Amazon real. 400 into 400, and all these files are stored it in another. What is that? Now, if another file is added there, what happened? Another put object happened, another lambda function I can run it. What is this lambda function will do? Take these images and move it into, what is that? CDN. CDN will generate, what is that? URL. Take that URL and update in database. No server. So in reality, this is what which is happening. In reality, I don't know how many people, and this is happening in Amazon, Facebook, anywhere. You go and click on amazon.com, you go and click on cricket or circuit. Let's take an example. What is this image size? When they provided the image size, this is 10 MB. But what is now this image size? This image size is 20 into 20 pixel, which is nothing but 5 KB. So is it okay if I can load 10 MB file? Each 10 MB means 10 MB, 10 MB, 10 MB, 10 MB. How many it is loading? It will take basically around 10 minutes to load the total page, but it has to load faster, right? So what they have done, they made sure when anyone click on OK, these images are lambda function has converted. What is that here? That image is loaded here. Now customer is much more interested, array, and very interested. When he goes and click on this button, right? He is making sure what is this size, this one, what is this one, 6 into 6 is available here in the below. Very smaller images, right? And customer is much more interested. Now he will go and click on it. Now they will load. If I am interested in this one, I go and click on it. Now they will load 400 into 400 pixel. Actual size is 10 MB. I'll convert my files into 1 KB, 6 KB, 8 KB. Very, very less. That is what I asked you, your photo. And you see here, this is the exactly I did it, sir. Exactly. I don't know how many people know it, observed it, even it was coming. I did not explain it at that period of time. If you go back and see, did I develop one application? Yes or no? Yes or no? If you go and click on Kumar, actual this image was 4 MB. Actual this image was 4 MB. Bah, the server is again sleeps, right? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I should remove that mode, man. 1 minute, sir. Sorry. And you have provided your photo, right? Let me log into that photo and I'll show you how the world runs. Facebook, Google, just where is that photo, man? Where did you provide the photo? KUMARAWSBIT@gmail.com. If you don't have the photo, I can take an example actually. Hmm? Wait a minute. No, I did not get it. Huh? From where? I did not get any photo. Okay, wait a minute. Spam, it went into spam. Is this one, Bhargav Verma, na? Bhargav Verma, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, let me download this image. 1.4 MB, yeah? Okay. Okay, this image is there, right? Let's take an example. Thank you. Right click. Is this image is what is the size of this image? Arey yaar, wait a minute. Download that attachment, no spam. What should I do? Look safe. Okay, and download it. I just take an example. I downloaded this image. See, the size of this image is, I'll go and click on this one as, just I've taken one image, rename it. I call this one as Dikshit. Fine. What is the size of this image? So if you see 1.0 MB, the pixel is 2000 into 3000, sir. Very, very large picture. So what I'm going to do, I don't know whether it will work or not. Let's try it. So, arey yaar, wait a minute. Then now it will work. See here. Is it working? Super. Now, see, exactly like Amazon.com, this is for searching products, but I have another tab here. What is that? Add customers. I'm going to add it here. Before I add it, actually, let me go into, I just need these details because this is my laptop, right? I need access key and secret key. I'm just trying. I don't know. Let's see. Create an access key and secret key because I need to upload that one too. I'll tell you what I've written. Each and everything I'll explain you. I'll open this file. My code, database details are there. This is my access key. See, let's see. I go and click on save. I don't know, I'm not guaranteeing it. This program is not tested. I only made sure that search is working fine. Let us try. Now I'll enter, what is this details? Dikshit, yes. Company name is working is Kelly. Phone number is 8877554433. Email ID is equal to tixit@gmail.com. which country he belongs to. This is what the lambda function, third one I'll explain you tomorrow. India. Customer name, okay, Dikshit is from Hyderabad. Customer information, Dikshit is AWS student. Just take an exam. And now I'm asking, what is that? Browse. See here what I'm going to do. If I add it, let's see. It should work. Let's see first. So Dikshit is a file. What is the size? What is the pixel? 2000 into 3000 pixel. Double click on it. I click on submit. See what I'm doing? Nothing, sir. I'm going to click on submit. Let's see. In this submit button, what I'm writing? Nothing I'm writing. Let's see. In this submit button, I'm writing, take these details, and move it into database. But what is this one? Image. Move it to S3 bucket. I've written. See here, sir. Let me show you. You see what is that I've written. You click on save. So this data has to move it into then. So what is happening? End to end, no person, nothing. I click on this image. This one has moved it into one bucket. Now, whenever the file bucket moved into bucket, what happened? What event happened? Put object. Whenever a put object happened, see here. So what I have done. So let's move it into S3. How I have written, and I'll show you the proof also. A lot of people will come up as in, where is the proof? Let me go for it. This is AWS S3 bucket. Wantedly, I have a bucket called as okay. What is that? What is that? So in this bucket, demo bucket source, or let's take an example. There is a bucket called as, what is that? Demo bucket source. Here I am adding Dikshit file using my program. This file. If you click on submit, it will storing. So if you see what I am doing in this bucket, in this folder, see, let's see, Dikshit is there. Arey yaar. Let's see. And what did I do? I don't know whether it has moved it or not. Let's see. No, it has not moved it. Wait a minute. Is this that bucket name or not? Wait a minute, sir. This is the bucket name only. Shit. But that's fine. I need to change my code. So, but I'll tell you. So when you go and click on it, or else, this is very good, right? So what I'm doing right now, what I'm uploading in this phone, what is that I'm uploading? Dikshit file I'm uploading. Done. Where did I upload it? S3 bucket. What is the size? So I uploaded. Whenever you upload S3, put object happen. And I have, what is that? One lambda function I have written. What is a lambda function name? See here. What is this lambda function name? What is this? I am a developer, sir. So I know how to write a program. I've written what is that I've written? Whenever, so when this lambda function will convert, anyone who's adding a file in AWS S3 in that bucket, it will convert that file into, what is the size? What is the window size? What is that? 5 into 5. Just take an example. Actually, it should be 80 to 90 or something like that. It will convert into 5 to 5. Let's take an example. It will automatically convert 5 pixel into 5 pixel. That entire code I have written. And it will convert 5 into 5 and it will store into another bucket. What is the bucket name? Demo destination bucket. From source bucket, it will move it into destination. So let us see here. So let us see here. Let's see here. This is the code. And when this lambda function should execute, put object happen. Where do I specify? You come below and in the lambda function, you write, this is a lambda function, right? You have a concept called as, what is that? Add trigger. I have already did trigger. When this lambda function should run, add a trigger. What is the trigger, sir? The trigger is this lambda function has to run whenever, what is that? S3. S3 what? Which bucket? S3. You can come up and say S3 this bucket. What event? You can come up and say put object, then this trigger will execute. I have already written a trigger. See here, sir. I have already written one trigger. See, when this lambda function should execute, you see the trigger. See here, sir. What is the trigger? Whenever a file is added into, what is the bucket name? Demo bucket, source Kelly. And what is the event happen? What is the event type? Put object. In which folder? Customer folder. Whenever you add it, this lambda function will execute and it will convert that image, your Dikshit file. Duplicate. So you go back here, S3. Destination. What is that? Demo destination bucket. You go and click on it. In this folder, my program has added, and now you will see what is this file? Dikshit. And what is the size of Dikshit file? What is the size? What he has provided? 1.4 MB. What it has converted? 5.5. And what it will do? It will take this image and move it into CDN. And CDN link, it will update here. Now you see, sir, I did not convert anything. I went into this bucket and I writing new query. You remember the data table, customer table. Select star from customer table. You execute it. It will come up and say Dikshit, Kelly, Dikshit@gmail.com, India. This one, Dikshit is Hyderabad, and Dikshit URL. What is the URL? S3 link or CDN link? Will it be faster for the first time or slower? First time slower, second time onwards faster. What is the proof? Now let us go here. What is the proof? Copy this name. Did I add it into the database? CDN moved, everything moved. Now you can go back to the search button. I'll go and click on Dikshit. For the first time, I am typing search here. First time. How much time it took? 4, 4, 6. Second time. Is it clear? And now this image is, what is the size? 5 KB size. I am not loading 1.1 MB file or 1.5 MB file. I am loading here. That is what happening. The same thing with here also. Same to same. You want to upload a very beautiful photo, but when you log in, why the size is so small? If you upload a bigger picture, what will happen? It will take more time. I want my website to be faster. So what I will do? I will do in the background, big images convert into small images. And this is one small, this is 3 into 3 pixel. Now customer will come up and say, or anyone will say, I've seen this guy. Who's this guy? Now he's interested. Now he click on it. He will load. Basically, what is that? 10 into 10 pixel. I can still see, man, who's this one or anything. Now you go and click on it. They will show you 100 into 100 pixel. But when I uploaded, it was 6000 into 6000 pixel, 3 MB. Now this size is 10 KB. Is it faster? One more example. Have you seen? I think most of the people have seen this one. What do you call it as? WhatsApp. Take a WhatsApp photo, very powerful photo, 1000 into 1000 pixel. Send it. I will get basically 200 into 200 pixel. It will not provide you the exact image size to me. What it will do when you submit it, it will take it, it will optimize it, and it will come up and say it will convert that 10 MB basically into 500 KB and then give it to you. Image processing. I am able to image processing with lambda function with no server. No server. I click on save button. The file moved it into AWS S3 into that location. Whenever the file is added, put object trigger happened, lambda function trigger, convert that image into whatever the pixels it wants and store it into another S3 bucket. Another S3 trigger happened. It has took that one and moved it into CDN. CDN link is generated, updated to the database. I don't do anything, no server. Lambda function image processing, no server. No server. Now she is having a doubt, sir. Maybe you are calling the coordinator from the background. Hey, please upload the file. He is uploading the file. It's not real. My program is happening. The beautiful part of lambda function is, see here, lambda function, you're writing a program here. Yes or no? The beauty of a lambda function, I'll tell you, this is powerful. The beauty of lambda function is, you're writing a lambda function. What is the proof that this lambda function has executed and converted into 180 into 90 pixel 5 into 5? What is the proof, sir? So wherever you write, what is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? Print statement. Whatever you're writing a code, print statement, you're printing it, right? That will go into CloudWatch as a log. It will, what did I type here? I type basically print the S3 event. So it has converted which image, sir? Dixit.jpg. What is the proof? In this print event in CloudWatch, it has a log. You can, it will have all the logs. Where is that? Let me show you. What is the lambda function name? That is a log name. Lambda function name is what? Resize image, right? Lambda function name is resize image. CloudWatch name is resize image. So you go for CloudWatch logs and you look for today's date. You go and look for, what is that? You come up and specify where is the lambda function. See here, sir. Where is the lambda, 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 AWS lambda, lambda, and now you see AWS lambda, 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 and you will see what is that. Is it executed today, this lambda function? Yes, sir. What is the proof? You click on it and you should be seeing something today, 8 o'clock, 7:52, something got executed. What is that? It will have the total print statement. See here, sir. Print, 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 print. S3 object. Total event ID. If you open this one and you will see which image it has processed. It has processed. What is the actual size? 1.4 MB. What is the bucket name? What is the size? Which event it trigger? I converted and moved, uploaded into another one. And how much time it has executed? Clearly, if you open it, it will come up and specify. See the beauty. This one has took duration of initialization this much time. Bill is to run this code 466 milliseconds. The cost is 467 milliseconds. To initialize this one, 4 milliseconds. The memory used is 114, but the lambda function has 2 GB. So that tomorrow you will upload 20,000 into 20,000 pixel, it should work, right? 2 GB, I mentioned it, but it took only how much? Very neatly it has come. And no server, log, no server, execution, no server, S3, no server, IAM role, no server, completely serverless. I don't require people. Got it? Are you able to understand the beauty of event based? I don't go on special, run it every 5 minutes. I'll say if this guy comes, then lambda function will run. That's an event. You add AWS S3 put object, then a lambda function will run. It will convert you. What is the program you run it? It will do all those things. So serverless, event based, second type I explained you. Anyone has any questions? Very, very important. No server, nothing. Image processes are converting from bigger image into smaller images. No server, nothing. This one, Facebook has nearly 10,000 servers to do backend image processing. Facebook's a lot of people upload, right? Image processing. Moved it to lambda function, 0. All the servers are deleted. Got it? Okay. I'll stop it here. As I promised you, I want to go to 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, right? The domain is not ready. Okay, Kelly Technologies has not bought the domain. I'll go for the regular class, Route 53. Fine. Okay. Any questions? Please practice it. Don't miss Monday's class. Monday's class is also open, important. Third type of a load balancer. Now it will change the face of the world. This one only looks very powerful. Third one is much more powerful. You can convert lambda function into API, call it from anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. Okay, Dikshit can open his mobile and click on a button, all the servers will stop. How do you convert that one? What is an API? API gateway, lambda function, Monday class. Don't miss Monday's class. Hmm. 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 No, it will decrease it. But what did I do here? It will decrease it. But what I want image in this style. Yes or no? What in this style I need that one, right? In this style I need it. What is the style of this one where you can see clearly? If the file is 100 into 100 pixel, it can see clearly. I'll load 100 into 100 pixel. That is the reason. Your image clarity is getting less and image size is also becoming less. Here, if I want to display, I will not display 1.4 MB because the pixel is this much. Actually, the small picture is there. That is what? That is converted based on my tile and I am displaying here. Are you able to understand, right? That is the reason why, if you go back and see why Amazon.com is faster, why Amazon.com is faster, because they made their images based on the tile. I'll go and click on, let's take an example, flowers for delivery. What is the reason that these are images are very, very fast? This image actually is 6 MB file, but it has to display here at what tile? This is 3 KB size. Now, much more interested, I'll click on it. Much more interested, I'll click on it. I'm now loading little bit bigger images, and even this biggest images are coming faster because of CDN. It is coming from nearest place. So try to understand the combination of how you need to make the size smaller, and if you move that file into CDN, smaller files will be retrieving much more faster. That is the reason Google, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Prime, and everything. You go and check it out. This is a real-time example, sir. You go and click on youtube.com. You are going and clicking youtube.com. Let's take an example. I want to go and click on this one. I want to see. Then what is this? Trusted by 1 million plus happy customers. Get up to 83% off on full body checkups. Sign up today. So what is the reason for this one? What is this? What is this? Actual file is what? It may be 4K, but YouTube has converted into HD, semi HD, 400 pixel, 200 pixel. Why? Same logic what I have written. I don't want, I have very less internet, but I want to see this one. I'll go and click on this one. That completely the clarity will decrease, but I can see it. Got it? That is what is all over the world is doing it. Clear, guys? Are you able to understand? Okay, I'll sign off right now. Let's see you on Monday. Thank you, guys. Thank you.